Hi, I'm Declan Connolly, founder of Bespoke Home Design, and thank you so much for checking out this 162-point project management execution plan. This presentation will show you how to use this execution plan so you can get the maximum benefit out of it. This execution plan comes with two downloadable files, one in PDF format and the other in a spreadsheet format, both of which you can download below. The PDFs are for printing right now if you wish, and the spreadsheet file is for editing with Microsoft Excel. But before you go ahead and start using those files, you need to watch this presentation first, so you can understand what the execution plan is all about. This execution plan is in many ways the most important execution plan if you are going to project manage the work yourself. Now, this isn't like the quality control execution plan. That plan is used for actually checking the work itself. This execution plan is all about planning the work and putting times and dates to when bits of work need to be done. So both of these execution plans complement each other, and you should be using both during the construction work. In fact, this project management execution plan has several uses. Firstly, it can be used to manage your own project process if you are doing the work yourself, so it gives you a checklist of work to be done. Probably more importantly though, this execution plan helps you time the ordering of materials and products for your project. Lots of things have lead-in times. For example, it could take up to 16 weeks for some windows to be delivered once ordered. So you can use this execution plan to plan things out and order them when you need to, so they arrive on time to site. The second use of this execution plan comes into play if you are hiring other people to do the work. And this execution plan can again be used as a checklist that will help you see when you need certain trades on site and for how long. For example, you wouldn't want an electrician on site when the foundations are being poured, as there will be nothing for them to do. Getting this wrong will lead to people being on site longer than they need to, or trades not being on site at all when you need them, and that then holds up other trades who can't progress without them. That basically means people standing around doing nothing, and you'll be paying for their presence on site whether they are working or not. So both these scenarios are very expensive mistakes to make. Construction projects can be very complicated, as it is essentially a process with many moving parts. And when one of the parts go wrong, they not only affect the project when this occurs, but it will have consequences later on in the project, and a lot of them will be unforeseen. I don't want to get too technical here, so take my word for it. One mistake will have a knock-on effect, which would then lead to more mistakes. That's the nature of the beast. And by far the best way to deal with all this is to make sure that the mistakes don't happen at all. However, as you'll eventually find out, that is easier said than done. But with this execution plan, you're giving yourself a major advantage with whatever work you want to get done to your house. Now, this is the basic execution plan. It does change from job to job, and some of the things mentioned here might not apply to you. However, as with all the execution plans in the library, you can pick and choose the bits you like and leave out the bits you don't. So let's take a look at this execution plan. It's firstly split into 6 sections, and each tab here will take you to a different section, and you simply click on the tabs like so to go to each page. The first tab is all about contact details. Make sure you get contact details of anyone working on your home. You never know when you'll need them, so get them up front at the start of the job. There's a comprehensive checklist of various trades on this page, so delete whichever aren't applicable to your job. The second tab is called Step 1 and is all about the prep work that needs to be done before the project really gets going, but with pre-renovation and the demolition sections. The pre-renovation section is about having all the right paperwork in place and making sure the contractor has everything he needs to start work and generally preparing your property for the building work to commence. The demolition section is about what needs to be removed from the site and the facilitation of that removal before the real construction work can start. The third tab is called Step 2, and that's concerned with work that is required with foundations and external work to the house. The fourth tab is called Step 3 and is all about the first fix. The first fix comprises of all the construction work that starts with building the foundations and walls all the way through to putting the plaster on the internal walls. This includes constructing the walls, floors and ceilings, and inserting cables for electrical supply and pipes for water supply, right up to and including putting up the plasterboard. Essentially, this is the work that you won't see when the project is finished. It's the body of your house upon which we then put on the clothes. The fifth tab is called Step 4, and this is all about the second fix, which comprises of all the work after the plasterboard goes on. So this includes finishes, final fixtures and fittings, etc. And this part is about all the stuff you will see when the job is finished. Think of it as the clothes we put on the body of your house. And finally, the sixth tab, which is called Step 5 and is all about landscaping, cleaning the place up, and then the final handover, warranties and insurances, etc. And now we'll take a closer look at each section. We'll see that each section is split up into several columns. The first column is labelled as Item, and here you record what the item is. We've put a whole load of items already, so it should be just a case of deleting what doesn't apply to your property. The second column is called required. Now, not every task will be applicable to your job, so just tick no if it isn't, or just delete this row from the spreadsheet altogether if a section doesn't apply. The third column is called notes, and here you make notes about bookings, material, or anything that needs to be done prior to this task that are important. The fourth column is called trade, and here you record the name of the trade or company or supplier you have hired or need to hire for this task. The fifth column is labelled booked, and here you tick whether you have booked the trade or not. The final column is called DOB, which stands for date of booking, and here you record the date you booked the trade or product or the date you need to book it. It might also help to add the date it is required in the notes section too. The spreadsheets are set up for you to print them off on A3 sheets instead of the usual A4. There are just too many things to fit on an A4 sheet, and the spreadsheets are fully editable so you can make whatever changes you want. So there you have it, your project management execution plan, and I hope you get a lot of use out of it. There are a lot more execution plans in the library, so be sure to check them all out. And remember that if you have any questions or comments, then please post them in the Bespoke Home Design Brain Trust group on Facebook. And don't forget, if there is a topic you would like us to create an execution plan for, then also let us know. And finally, there's a lot more stuff here in your membership area to check out, and I hope you get a lot of value from it. So I'll see you in the next video.